Minecraft is a game that the internet has made fun of for years, but I don't think that's because it's a bad game. There are certainly worse games out there. Minecraft isn't the best game either, but when you really look at it, you'll notice that there isn't that much that is offensive or cringeworthy about it on its own. It has its flaws, but overall it's very innocent. No, the real monster is some of the culture that has spawned from it. The hundreds of thousands of terrible YouTube videos that have been made about this game.
Leave a like on the video if you like Minecraft. Today we are going to be going over 5 Minecraft YouTubers who've sworn.
The obnoxious children that play it.
Now, okay.
And of course, the lazy song parodies that have remade about every pop song you can imagine by replacing every other lyric with the words mine or diamond.
These diamonds are my destiny, she said, ooh, ooh, shut up and mine with me.
But today we're going to look at an isolated area of this fandom, the fan art. Because I feel like reviewing the fan art of this game can give us a useful reflection of what the culture is really like. Let's start off with a Minecraft OC that is simply amazing. Here we have a brightly colored cat person in the typical blocky Minecraft form with what appears to be an X3 face, along with a bio. Dana, 16, likes cats. Girl, it is half cat. Okay then. Here we have this old artwork, and I think it's pretty hilarious. For some reason, almost all of the characters have these scribbled vortex eyes. That's quite an interesting choice for a facial feature. And over here we have a pig that looks like it's screaming from immense pain. I don't know why I find this so amusing. It just looks so psychotic that it's actually quite fascinating. In this piece, we have the famed character Herobrine, who is sort of like a creepypasta monster for the Minecraft community. Now, what I find a little strange about this drawing is how bright the eyes are. I understand that the original Herobrine does have white glowing eyes, but it was more of a soft glow. This glow is so intense that it looks like one of those lens flare memes. Speaking of Herobrine, here we have a profile named I Love Herobrine with a picture of Spock for some reason. I think they, got something a little mixed up. I don't really care about the artwork that much, it's the profile that I really found the most entertaining. You know, the thing about Minecraft fan art is that it's probably the only time where the square tool in MS Paint would be appropriate. It's not the best option, but it looks a lot more fitting in Minecraft art than, you know, a character with actual human anatomy. Which is why I found it kind of funny that this drawing could use more of those tools. Things like the pockets and hair, hell, even the arms might be able to use the square tool in some way and make it look a bit better. Of course, the head and body use this, but the proportions are a little off. Here we have some artwork that obviously has quite a bit of problems, especially the linear perspective of the creeper there. One thing I would like to mention is how high this wolf is jumping. That is quite a leap if I do say so myself. The position is also amazing. If a wolf was trying to act like a ballerina, this is what I imagine they would look like. This is the pinnacle of grace. Of course, we also have Furry Minecraft Art, which is inevitable, but when you think about it, it's a little weird. There are actual wolves in the game, so you'd think that having an anthro-wolf dog thing would be a bit conflicting. It's kind of like the strangeness that comes from Pluto and Goofy living in the same universe. But anyway, in this drawing we have Drake, I believe, sitting on a beach in Minecraft with sunglasses. You can't get any cooler than this. The anatomy, of course, is a little off, but certainly better than most. It's also a little strange that there doesn't appear to be some sort of object the character is leaning on. Maybe they're leaning on the hill in the background, but that isn't very clear, so for now the character just seems to be holding a pretty uncomfortable position. I would also like to mention the creeper in the background, who seems to be experiencing some sort of existential crisis. Maybe he just realized he has been permanently placed in Minecraft furry fan art. Let's also not forget about the Minecraft shipping fan art. Shipping Minecraft YouTubers specifically. Now, I'm ashamed to admit that I used to watch some of these YouTubers when I was younger, mostly because I thought they were funny, and maybe it's my nostalgia speaking, but I do think they were, and maybe still are, pretty okay YouTubers. I do remember them telling actual jokes instead of screaming all the time. Anyways, I'm just telling you this to explain how I know about these ships. So over here we have a pretty famous one by the name of Skylocks, which is Sky Does Minecraft and Deadlocks, and next to them is Jerome and Mitch. The weird thing about this drawing is the way the characters are leaning into each other. With Skylocks, this problem isn't that severe, but with Jerome, one of them seems to be gradually sliding off the floor. Here's another shipping picture between Deadlocks, and I don't actually know who that person is. This picture is actually pretty okay, however the torso proportion on Deadlocks is a bit off, and the width seems to decrease as it goes up the body. Also, the background hills seem to have peaks and valleys that are too extreme to match the environment. So here we have a pretty well-made Minecraft character. The color scheme is pleasant and the design looks natural and lively. A few of the stylistic choices are a bit out of place. The multitude of lines through the hair is a bit unnecessary. I think it would work better with the solid locks that have already been drawn, but overall it's a very clean, well-shaded, and well-colored character. This drawing has a very interesting take on the creeper. It goes for a more realistic and detailed look, and I do like the idea they were going for, but there's some things about it that are pretty distracting. In the background it looks like they were trying to make some sort of curved lens look, but the curve is far too asymmetrical. The curve on the left side is pretty moderate, but on the right side it jumps up and becomes more extreme. I think a more consistent and more moderate curve throughout would work better, and like the artist admitted, the blur is a little too much. I think the blur can be appropriate, but it's simply too intense and takes up too much of the painting. Now this artwork is probably one of the best and most accurate pieces of Minecraft fan art I've seen on this romp around Deviantart. I have to mention how even with the blocky and stiff nature of the designs in the game, they still managed to make these characters look lively. I do like the fact that instead of warping the anatomy of the designs with curves to put them in this position, they actually took the time to make sure they kept most of the cube-like structure intact. I also like the details added to deviate from the original designs as well, such as the more expressive face, the curving hair, and the tufts of fur on the wolf. These details are obviously different from the original, but they act more as subtle additions rather than distracting changes. The only things that appear weird to me is the background, which often changes from containing line work to containing no line work at all. I feel like that should be more consistent. Also, the lighting is scattered and isn't executed very well. I don't think adding clouds of yellow on top of objects interacting with the light is the best technique. But overall, this piece is very cheerful, there's lots of attention to detail, and it's very loyal to the designs in the game, but it also adds some of its own touches. Anyway, my name is Solar Sands, this has been Browsing Deviantart, and goodbye.